pressing for a while, and now we have to switch out of it. So I don't think there's a whole lot of reasons to be confident in Dig, but I don't think it would, I equally don't think it would be super surprising considering Gen.G looked just as flat in Phase 1. But you know what? Let's wipe all the negativity out of our minds. Let's stay positive.
You stay positive,
at least for the moment.
I want to hold on to negativity until I'm proven wrong. There's nothing I want more. I want to be so wrong about Dig in this fight. Kusta will start off well with a bit of a long range. The benefit of picking up one of those P250s is you can actually take those fights with the CT side pistols. Now, Exist is going to be falling further on back. I don't really mind that Getro is trying to do that. I think it's fair enough to try and snipe away a kill. Just didn't work out his favor this time. Yeah,
he had his chances. He had his opportunities, some clean shots with that USP. Just nothing connects. Now, if you're Gen.G, you're hoping at this point that this is going to be a committal into the B bomb, but and not some kind of a fake. And indeed, it will be. The lower portion of the attack waits to get the information. There's Kusta again.
What?
Oh, dear. Kusta with the P250, keeping Exist at range, but that's a brilliant shot through the smoke.
If you're Som at that point, you think like, okay, I guess, cool.
2 smokes, 1 kit, and a little bit of utility, but there's still a long and a lot of space in this bomb site that Dig has to traverse to get to the defuse.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy, and they've also picked up another USP here, so they actually have a lot of firepower there on the Gen.G side, trying to hold on to the bomb. Forest sneaking up, Freiburg goes down, and Forest in a lot of trouble here. You see how they peek him at the same time. What a great after-plant scenario here for Gen.G. The timing on that peak, especially against Forest, was just amazing.
Kusta even almost playing like he had the AWP. He was at that upper ramp with that off angle towards the back halls, just holding for the rotation to come in. So he actually takes contact far away, and that's what kind of sets up the trap for the rest of Gen.G to peek. That's a nice, easy pistol round. 1-0.
Som's even asking, through the smoke, or what's going on here?
Yeah, he wasn't happy about that one. Gets caught a little bit off guard. Pistol round to Gen.G. We've got AKs, we've got Galils, all rifles for the Gen.G side, going up against 2 scouts, the UMP, some upgraded pistols, and Automatic is going to aggressively take control of box halls, even running through his own Molotov. There's not a lot, I mean, with this heavy rifle buy to Gen.G, there's not a lot of utility. They're actually really, really low on nades. They have 1 smoke, 2 flashes, and 1 Molotov for the rest of the round. So if Dig can have any success early on with these scouts with a Deagle shot, this could get dicey for the Gen.G side.
Got a couple of HE grenades on Guardian and Forest. Could be interesting if it's another B plant, if they get into C connector in time. Pushing out into Ivy as well, so getting a little bit of a look there. Exist, maybe a chance to do something, but now they're going to be real close with those rifles. Good headshot. Oh dear. There's the long-range grenade and lands right on top. Oh, that's a nice combo. Almost looked like he shot the grenade, didn't it? Som goes down, and now it's a 3 versus 4, and they're getting a bit closer. Forest not ready for the aggressive push coming out of Daps. And Guardian, that's a shot you need to hit. He's going to be going down. And now it's a 2-on-2, but they do have a pretty significant health advantage here.
It's just, can they watch the flank? There's 1 player coming in, it's Freiburg. This would be huge if he's able to get this kill, but it's a nice off angle from Automatic, although he doesn't even check the flank. 2 missed shots from Freiburg. That should give up the game. Kusta's got both angles to deal with. Into a 1-on-1 we go, but no kit. And Freiburg has so much to do, trying to bait out the peak. Automatic knows he's not on the bomb. And you can see Freiburg under so much pressure. Automatic's just going to stall this out and win it. Freiburg with no kit, but they've taken a lot of guns away from the Gen.G side, and that's not bad overall.
Freiburg heads up there, knew he was getting chased down, and I think they're just getting outside of the blast radius. So, it will be around for Gen.G, but I agree, they had to pay a lot for it, and that kind of easily worked out in Dig's favor. Pretty good fight coming out of them there. And I guess that was the thing that, I mean, it's not that they had a bad game the last time, it's that they looked like they just didn't even really care.
Who are we talking about here?
Dig.
Okay.
And that's, I don't know, there's something about that upsets me.
Yeah, that doesn't sit well. We kind of discussed that after the last match also, the when we had to witness that atrocity. That's what I'm saying. Let's wipe it off, wipe it out of our memories, Anders. It's a new day.
It is a new day, and I mean, that actually, I think it's a fair point as well. That actually can change, right? Like, you could have had a post-team discussion, post-match discussion with the team where you sort of go through it and you say, why were we like this? It wasn't even fun for us, so maybe we should change it up. Freiburg with an opening kill taking down Som. That's a bit of an early start now. They're going to be hitting the B bomb side once again for the 3rd time in a row. And just a straight, clean bomb plant here.
And again, they're bought into this round. Obviously, they have all the rifles, still low on nades. So any more damage that Dig does with these USPs, with the AK-47 on Freiburg, the Galil on Force, that's all good work. And that's all going to be painful for Gen.G. And actually, at this point, if I'm Exist, I'm not even really going for this. I'm just keeping them boxed in as much as humanly possible. Another kill for Freiburg. I don't think they'll be able to make it into the bomb site, but if they can keep Gen.G locked here near the blast radius, this is so effective. This is about as best of a start you can do when you go down 0-3. So Dig is doing a very, very good job.
Yeah, Freiburg with 3 kills, and they still steal the AK-47 and the Galil into the next round. So amazing play coming out of the Swedes right now. That's definitely the kind of start that you want to see out of them. And again, maybe putting a little bit more punch into the early map here. You'd like to see that as well. So yeah, I mean, Gen.G, a lot of the times you'll see people pick up MAC-10s and stuff like that for this exact reason, right?
Yeah, those were 2 very expensive rounds. They're not able to build up any cash. Bentet, Automatic, and Kusta all stuck at $50. This would be a huge way for Dig to get started. And they've already got Guardian on the AWP, so we'll keep our eye on that. There's been a big talking point. Guardian's off. Ooh, and Psalm out mid with the Galil. Not as accurate as you'd like, and Get Right just spams the corner, the edge of the smoke. And Psalm catches a bullet to the face.
Some very heads-up play coming out from Get Right. It's good to see. Automatic. Ooh, no. Guardian able to get that kill. I almost want to see that from his point of view. Now it's Bentet and Daps, 2 versus 5. And this is where the work they put into the first 3 rounds really is going to pay off, right? If they can take this round away, then we know Gen.G is not going to have the economy. And Dig on the other side, looking way more powerful. Bentet has seen the legs and goes for a bit of a long-range spray, but that's a great round, only losing 1 player.
Yeah, that's really, really nice, and it's Freiburg. And remember, he'd saved an AK-47, so they actually have plenty of money built up considering a Galil and an AK were brought in from the previous round. So Dig looking very, very strong early on, and they've already set their feet in terms of the money. That's not something you see very often. Guardian with a couple nice kills in round number 4. And Gen.G is going to buy what they can. 2 players had the cash flow to invest in rifles. It's all pistols, and again, they haven't had a round yet where they've had clean nades on the T side of train, which is a frightening prospect. Looks like a B rush.
Yeah, going B once again. Gonna go straight for it, and that's a knockout punch, taking out Exist. And they even get the angle here against Guardian, who's low on health already. What a way to start a round.
They might save.
Yeah.
They might actually have to save this. You can see they're already backing towards CT Spawn. Going to try a new angle for the retake. Good kill from Force. Now it's on. Now they can move forward. And Gen.G have to hold, but everyone's out in the open. Everyone's overexposed. No one's fighting together. Psalm getting into the action. He's got 1, almost 2, but Force is just out of his vision. He's desperately trying to find it.
Wow.
And Dig have done a phenomenal retake. No one from Gen.G fought back.
Yeah, or they almost fought back too early, right? They were so the idea of pushing up that they actually got caught out in the open after Forrest got that first kill. That's amazing to see. That, again, it looked like they should have saved. It definitely didn't look like it was ever going to be close to a retake. I think, see, when they get this kill, the follow-up here, they're just trying to fight Forrest.
Yeah, it's that one. Daps is out in the open in no man's land, not being aggressive, not hiding behind a train. Like, there was no coordination of those post plans for Gen.G. Even with a couple of pistols or unarmored teammates, they should have been able to have much more resistance than that. So 1-round lead for Gen.G, but it's disappearing quick.
I honestly wonder if they didn't have the same feeling once they get the opening and they know they did a lot of damage to Guardian. I think they just think, well, this is kind of a 1 round, you know?
Yeah, we've already gotten it.
Yeah, we did it. And then suddenly the swing back happens.
Psalm's having a pretty busted start to this game. Naded, shot through smoke twice. 1 by Get Right, 1 by Exist.
And they could, I mean, it's good news that they won the pistol and got the following rounds. But we all know what can happen if you get stuck on the T side of train.
Well, also if you just let the CT side economy grow way too big, way too fast. Constantly having to burn through multiple full buys, multiple Molotovs and nades every single round. That can be a complete disaster.
Just some deagles to try and pose a threat here and try and see if they could maybe, I don't know, again, try and do some damage to the economy of Dig. That's pretty much, I think, what's on the table right now for them, and not much else. You want to make sure that, I mean, look at Guardian, he's already got 6,000 in the bank, so
yeah,
you can just keep buying that.
Forrest as well is up there, Get Right's almost there, so things are looking good. And again, there's been 1 round outside, it was a fast-paced outside play, and everything else has been towards the inner bomb site, so Gen.G not doing anything fancy, which I guess we've come to expect out of them. But here we go. Exist is going to get a chance to just shut this down before it begins. There's the go signal, holds the trigger. A third player ready and waiting, and Exist has all three. We're all tied up as well, 3-3.
You know what we were talking about yesterday when we were watching... Oh, let's see if we can... Actually, we might have a replay. We'll hold the thought for a minute and just see if we can get Guardian's shot here. All right. Yeah, this one that I was... Okay, he does actually go down on low ground. I was worried for a second he was on the ladder taking that shot, but that wasn't the case.
No, just to get the intel.
We were talking about this yesterday with Cloud9 and Envy playing, and we were giving a fair amount of credit to Envy and their pop flashes as being a simple but, you know, very effective tool. That's the kind of thing I want to see out of Gen.G. With Daps in the mix, that should be the kind of play that they could set up way more.
What is Kusta going to do with this play? This is wild. I don't think he knows where to go. He should have seen 3 nades, or he definitely heard 3 nades explode, and that's going to be an awkward situation, but he can hold people. The rest of his team is going to attack towards the inner bomb site, and he's in an advanced position that Dig has no idea about. Unfortunately, he hasn't pounced once, and the over-rotation to the B bomb site for Dig, because it's been such an emphasis for Gen.G, might actually be the undoing of this round, but Kusa's finding so much information, so much space.
Still a question of timing, though. Private comes back for it. He could have won that fight. Kusa, though.
Surely they get called back now.
Yeah, they almost have to, but what do they do now, Gen.G? I mean, they could wait it out. They could see how many people show up. Molotov, though, and C Connector, a little bit of a push through the smoke. That could have been brilliant for Exist, but Som was ready and quick with the Krieg to take him down. So now it's going to be 5 versus 2.
That's two things. Obviously, Kusa's play is phenomenal and bold to walk all the way up to the bomb train, but the only reason that was even possible is because Dig had a huge lean to the inner bomb site. They have seen so many hits toward the B bomb site in this game already that they cheated 3 players in there. They cheated an extra one over, and that's what allowed the space to happen, especially considering they were already a man down.
That's a good little resurgence for Gen.G in a round where, again, if they didn't win it, then the economy for Dig would just get out of control. So not only winning the round here, getting 4 on the board, but also
all 5 players surviving. You have the Optional and Automatics hands. This was a perfect round for Gen.G.
And again, just a simple entry kill, creating a little bit of space. And actually, I mean, the rotation coming out of Dig was pretty nuts.
It's too much. I mean, you can kind of understand why they've done it. They're very cautious of the fact that Gen.G's emphasized the B bomb site, but that's way too much space to allow outside, especially for someone in Freiburg's position who's watching everything, right? He's at Ivy, he's watching team mid, and he's watching ladder room. That's way too much responsibility for one man on this map.
Let's see how he deals with it down the road. Presumably he'll have a lot more backup in the pretty much all the rest of the rounds. Very rare to see. Dabs going down to Guardian, though. It's a very cool shot that he didn't really have a lot of space for. Almost wonder if he actually saw anything there, if it was just sort of a parting kill. Wasn't a lot to see. Still got Kusta out here between the trains and the rest of the team somewhere else. And he's going to look for a kill. He could have definitely had it already. And there's finally picking up Freiburg, and Guardian able to return just yet. A bit of a crouching battle going on. Guardian nearly got his face blown off there.
Kusa's in some trouble, but he knows exactly where both players are. He knows one's at bomb train, he knows one's at the end of the train. And again, look towards the individual play at the inner bomb site. Bentet taking the opportunity. Forrest is going to have no idea. This is going to catch him completely off guard, and that's unfortunate. Now the B bomb site is opened up, and Gen.G have adapted now. Individual plays on each side of the map, but this can crumble. There's no way for them to take complete advantage of it. It's just confusion. They have no idea where the opposition is at any one time, and Gen.G get their 5th on the board.
This is actually a very cool way to play the T side, although it has some massive disadvantages, because as you said, even in sort of a 2 versus 3 like that, you could end up losing a bunch of individual battles, and suddenly the round, you know, that was looking good is no longer cool. But it's so confusing. How do you call this if you're on the Dig side? You're like, Kusta's out there alone, but now Bentet's also alone in B shooting people. It's like, I don't even know what kind of call you make at that point in time. Yeah,
well, the bigger problem is, obviously, if you're Forrest at the inner bomb site, you're kind of starting to hear the communication, maybe start thinking about going to the outside bomb site towards A, and you just kind of lose track of the play that Bentet is making. You don't get the information. I think Freiburg equally doesn't have the information. They crossed over, so that's almost very dangerous. He almost peeked right into it.
Double up now on the Dig side. Could definitely be very good. Again, don't want to underestimate Forrest as someone who could just fight with pretty much any weapon in the game. 5-3 now is the scoreline, though. Is I think a really good result for Gen.G. And again, the economy that we were so hyped up about is kind of taking a crash here for Dig.
Yeah, it's gone. If they lose this, they're in some real trouble in this half. 2-round lead for Gen.G, but that could balloon quickly out of a victory here. 4 players outside, it's just Forrest inner. He's spawning for someone to cross in box halls, and because he hasn't seen it yet, no need to rotate a second player back there. It's all slow pace to default from Gen.G. They've backed away from Ivy, just Som, where they once had 3 players. But the defense equally Dig. They're far back on the bomb train. Only Get Right any kind of aggressive stance, so they can get stuck behind these smokes. The utility could be perfect, but Guardian's got the first pick.
That's the kind of opening that we associate with Guardian. Don't get to see nearly enough, but you see how quick he is in some of those scenarios. And they're going to have to rely on that, but the return is amazing. Daps with a double kill, automatic and Bentet to follow it up, and just looked like there was no defense.
That's the problem with having so many players that far back and playing passively at the outside bomb site. Once Daps is in hell, you have players pushing up from ladder room at E-box, you have one player at the end of Ivy. Everyone from Dig is remaining passive, waiting to hold their angles and waiting for the fights to come to them. But that's, again, too much map control for Gen.G. Dig is doing nothing to stop their progression outside. We've seen Kusta a number of times have advanced position. We saw Daps make the run earlier that was shut down by Guardian, but now this time, no one's there to slow down those pushes.
It is definitely a huge issue. Forrest definitely been spotted out now. Bentet calling in the reinforcements. There is some right behind Forrest, so if he backs up, he's going to be dead in pretty much a matter of seconds. And I think he's starting to realize Forrest, yeah, it's suspicious that they're not actually coming for me, and the timing is so good. Great communication here, and Gen.G will secure another round, putting 6 on the board and crushing the Dig economy. So starting to look really rough.
I think we need to start seeing the next gun round for Dig has to be way, way more aggressive. And I don't mean like pushes down Ivy, I don't mean pushes towards the inner bomb site, but you have to be willing to fight at the choke point. Someone needs to be able to fight not just with the op, but get a rifle close up in between the first trains. Don't give them access to that entire avenue, especially because in the next round, likely they won't have an AWP. Maybe just one on Guardian, but you have to be able to deny control of the map. And this is, I mean, again, they're being more aggressive with these pistols than they were with the rifles, and that needs to change once they get the M4s back in hand.
Yeah, that's a good point. You could even... big chance there. I was going to say, you could even almost think about it sort of mathematically, right? If you're holding that A yard, and you're holding, you know, Ivy, T-Main, and Pop Dog, then those are 3 angles that you sort of more or less have to worry about. But if you let them out between the trains, then, you know, at the very least, there are 2 more angles on either side of every train. And then there's the E-box as well. I mean, it's like the amount of stuff you have to hold when you let them out there is way, way more. So gotta be real careful about that. Or at the very least, to make them pay for it, right? Like, make sure that...
Yeah, make it costly. Make them have to work for it. They're just getting it for free whenever they want it. Exists with the Deagle is going to go down. Good entry from Kusta. Freiburg steps up next. Behind the first train, Forrest is on rotation. They know he's here, though, and he's going to go down quick. Forrest has arrived with the Deagle, and nothing to do but maybe a kill or 2 right at the end. It's going to be 7-3.
Which is amazing. This is a huge turnaround for Gen.G. It really looked like Dig had showed up to play, and I won't rule them out just yet, but Gen.G responded as soon as they felt the pressure. They're like, all right, if this is going to be the kind of game that we're seeing, then we're ready to fight at that level too. And look at the money they have. 11,000 on Som.
Yeah. Well, Sean mentioned as well on the desk that Gen.G was coming into this game with 3 or 4 of the top players in the server, and I mean, you can see when you kind of transition into this more individual strat that we've seen Gen.G, where they're having lurkers on A bomb site, they had Ben-10 lurk at the B bomb site. When you're finding those 1v1s, you think Som towards Ivy in the previous gun round, that's where Gen.G can really have an advantage. They're gonna love those 1v1s. Off on Guardian, he sees the jump, gets the leg shot. Som still alive though, can still do damage.
Okay, right, sneaking in with a kill on Kuster, and they seem to be aware now at this point in time on the CT side that those deep smokes is, you know, a sign that someone's actually out here.
And look at the difference when you see Get Right challenging towards teammate around E-box, not letting Kusta be comfortable behind that smoke. You see Forrest pushing up into box halls, willing to challenge. They're having success. Get Right's gonna get 2 kills in the round. Daps trying to respond, but the Krieg is not his ally. And it's just automatic. 1 versus 3. Don't give him those fights. He can do this still.
Yeah, don't underestimate him with this weapon. Talked about on the desk a little bit, but yeah, he's very good with it. There's 1 more kill, and he spots out Forrest as well. Now 1-on-1 automatic. Still got 55 seconds, and he can absolutely do this. What a win it would be as well.
This is going to get interesting, though, because Forrest is backing away, and Automatic, it depends on how long he holds this timing or hold these angles outside. Remember, the bomb is all the way back towards the base of the staircase. He's got to go retrieve that at some point. 35 seconds now, and if he doesn't realize how far away that bomb is, he could actually just straight up run out of time.
Especially if he's thinking that yeah, he's going to find Forrest and kill him instead.
We're getting to the danger zone.
Already there, aren't we? Yeah, oh god. This is not looking good. We're gonna, if we had the soundtrack ready and queued up, then now would be the time to play it. 15 seconds, and he's gonna find the bomb, but I don't think he's gonna have the time. It doesn't matter. He can't even fake it once. He could run straight and put the bomb down, but then there's no chance to fake it any longer, and Forrest could just run on top of him. What a way to go. 4 seconds left, and yeah, he's run out of time. It's rough.
That's stupid.
My toes are all the way curled up, Jason.
It's the I saw that coming at like 50 seconds, but I didn't fully believe it.
Well,
that's a silly way to lose a round. Forrest has got to be sitting there like, what is this idiot doing? It's a shame too. I think he must have just not have realized it. Maybe a teammate while dead didn't call it out where the bomb was, but I mean, Automatic's way too intelligent of a player to have that be a good look at his gameplay.
I agree. Let's blame his team.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. 7-4. Triple nade inside of Team Mid. Plenty of flashbangs and Molotov as well. Kusa hasn't taken any damage, so Get Right is just going to go down. That might be frustrating. Nade out as well. Kusa gets taken advantage of. Daps trying to win the battle inside of the smoke. They exchange pretty much equal. Freiburg down to 35, Daps down to 52.
You're gonna be, yeah, Get Right, eh? Like, we threw 3 grenades and a Molotov and some flashbangs, and he just is still just there with no issue at all. But he was hiding behind that back box, so I guess that's all fair. 4 on 4 in this round, and this is all on Dig right now to get the remaining 4 rounds. That is the mission and the only thing that's really acceptable at this point in time.
Yeah, this is a tough one, though. They win that round with just 4 surviving, so the money is still not great.
Look at how far apart they are in the A-bomb side, with 2 playing inside of B. Freiburg, there's no chance for any kind of a reply. No one can help him out. Forrest would have to win this fight and go on a little bit of a tear out here. He's going to pick up the Krieg.
Gen.G has not tried to gather their team. This is all 1 versus 1 fights that have come out in this round, and it's looking awkward. There's another one, despite the fact that 3 people are there. Good trade from Automatic. He gets it at the last possible second. Exist was trying to back away, and Gen.G have found themselves into another plant situation. 2 versus 1, up 7-4, and this would once again shatter the Dig economy.
And it will, surely. There's no kit or smoke or anything for Forrest to... Again, you need to force a fight. It's not just enough to tap the bomb a single time when there's 2 people left. You're going to have to do a little bit more, and they're just nowhere to be found, which is exactly how they want to play it.
Well, he's going to know exactly where they both are. The question is, will he actually ever have time? No. Daps takes him down, straight to the head. 8-4, 4-round lead, and no money for Dig. They've got the ruler out, and it's coming up much shorter than they expected.
Which is really never something you want to advertise.
No.
Man, 8-4. Uncomfortable silence after the...
I'm just... Yeah, a little bit. 8-4. Flashbangs coming over the roof. Some in Team Mid. Automatic with the AWP far, far back. Like, I think that style might work this game against Dig. I know it's like a constant disappointment. I don't want to pile on Gen.G too much, but I don't enjoy that 1v1 style. And I think when they get against some of the better competition, the more established teams, that's going to be rough. Even against a team like Havu, I think if you're going to play that kind of individualistic style, there's going to be rounds you get heavily punished for it.
Yeah, I agree. And I think we've even seen some signs that Dig have at least figured out the part where they're being aggressive, individually outside. So if they had more cash and I don't know if they kept trying to punish that, yeah, I think it'll work out. Eventually, you're gonna look at that and you'll realize, all right, whenever those smokes go up, probably someone's playing behind them. Probably they're gonna be alone. It's not gonna be as coordinated. So
yeah, I think they've seen Kusa doing it 3 times. They've seen Daps doing it once or twice. So,
yeah,
I mean, there's plenty of information out there. This isn't bad, though, from Gen.G. Keeping things slow. You know you're going up against pistols. You haven't used basically any of your nades at the moment, so you're going to have a full set piece at the outer bomb site. And it might not even matter. Bentet's got the first coming out of ladder room. Still have Forrest and Freiberg out here to deal with. Should see the ankle. And it won't matter. Som's got both. Bomb site is theirs for the taking. A 9th round for Gen.G.
Bomb has been planted.
And only throwing 2 out of 3 of the smokes for the smoke wall at A, which I think it's one of the underrated ways of playing this this A kind of an execute. Because normally you could, let's say all 3 is the maximum amount of smokes you want to throw at that A train. But if you're missing one of them, then the whole point is you will know that it's missing when you're attacking, so you know what angle to cover.
Yeah.
But the defense might actually expect for it to go down, so they might suddenly be like, oh wait, there's supposed to be a smoke behind me that I can use for cover, but it's not there. And you kind of saw that with the player holding the train a little bit. So I think sometimes that's something that's really worth thinking about is how much you can vary that and use it to your advantage.
Yeah, I think the benefit too is if you're Gen.G and you're throwing 2 out of 3 smokes, you know where the fight is going to be.
Yeah.
You know exactly where to look for that follow-up fight. So I mean, it is a risk, but against pistols, obviously they felt very comfortable. It's more of a risk in a round like this where Guardian's going to bring an AWP into the action. So we'll see how Gen.G handles it. But I mean, listen, they've done a pretty good job ever since that 3-round run that Dig had early on. Despite the fact that we've been a little uncomfortable with some of the decisions, it's working. This kind of individual style at the moment is working.
Yeah.
So until Dig can counter it, why would you go away? The only round they've lost, in fact, is that awkward round where the bomb was just left so far away in a 1 versus 1 clutch.
Yeah, and it's just not good enough anymore, is it? I think I was getting ahead of myself. I was like, all right, this is the kind of Dig that I want to see. And that only lasted for a short while. Now we're back to something else.
Guardian. Oh, even he gets battered. Was that right through the wall? I don't even know if he saw him. We didn't see it. And Automatic can just post up here. Don't even use a smoke. Don't use a Molotov. Don't use any flashbangs. Just post up and pick off the rotation. Dig still have no idea how many people are committed. Daps has gone down for free on the other side of the map, but the bomb is coming in. And Bentet, they're covering both the rotation angles. Automatic is opping towards connector. That's a defensive smoke put up, and Bentet is pushed to watch the other side of CT spawn.
And with Kusa lurking right now, Hot Dog, how do you read this? And it's a kill on Forest as well, but I don't know how you go for this retake. It's 3 on 4, so maybe you could do it at just by the numbers, but I don't think it's going to be quite enough here. Exist looking to take a fight. He really wants that kill. Of course, they're going to have to, they really want to do it, but ultimately, it's not looking likely here. And Exist now at a 1 versus 3. It's a lot of damage with the grenade on Som, but I don't think it'll help. They have 3 Molotovs left.
Yeah, well, that 1 smoke can counter all of them. The problem is actually getting to the bomb. I don't even know if Exist will get away. Som is on the hunt, more than willing to go down with the explosion if that's what is required. And Exist is just going to back away. Gen.G now at double digits on their T side of train.
Incredible start.
Yeah, this is just, they've turned this into like a battle of lurking. I feel like there hasn't even really been any like ultra visceral or aggressive hits from Gen.G. It's basically like, okay, we've got a pick, and now we have 3 people lurking in different places on the map, and they know where to look for those fights, and it's working. They're catching Dig in a lot of rotations, a lot of Dig trying to find information. Dig hasn't been able to control anything in this game.
No, I think that's how it feels right now. They're just, even though it seems like they should know, and they've had some signs that they are aware of what's happening in terms of individual play. Yeah, they've just lost all control at the moment. 15th round coming up, last at a half, and whatever happens here, Gen.G are going to be celebrating going in the second half for sure. Bit of a run boost attempted. And Freiberg does not want to peek the lane here. That could be maybe a quick death. Got all the Kriegs out, and huge lack of utility on the CT side as well.
Ooh, that's almost an opportunity for Kusta. Forrest just jumps out. Get Right is at least holding into ladder room. Forrest is going to go move to join with him, but again, this defense crumbles so quick if Freiberg goes down towards Ivy, and he's got 1 flashbang for the rest of the round. 3 players to contend with, 50 seconds on the clock. Just now, Guardian rotating back with his FAMAS, but not committed to it. There's the flashbang. Freiberg turns, and that's brought Som towards the back alleys.
Cool little trick there, flashing his way through. Som nearly getting caught here, but it is a FAMAS on the other side, so if he's looking the right way, he might actually get it. Guardian picking up. I think that did at least catch his attention. Really awkward battle for Som, and he's going to be going down while GetRight and Freiburg are getting kills across the map. And a much better defense so far. Bentet and Automatic, the only ones left, and they shouldn't have a chance here with 19 seconds. This should be where Dig, again, could just use the experience and lock it down 10-5 at the end of the half, favoring Gen.G. That's still pretty impressive.
Yeah, no, that's a dominant TF from them. They're going to be so pleased with that. A nice little 7-1 run in the middle of that half for them that powers them to a 10-5 lead.
Yeah.
No one in Dig in double digits in terms of kills. Rough defense. We'll see what they're going to look like after the halftime break.
Right, here we go, back with the second half. It's Dig versus Gen.G, and a very, very powerful first half here for Gen.G. Getting up to 10 rounds.
Yeah, it's great. It didn't feel powerful when watching it. That was very slow-paced and calculated. Not that I'm against it in any way. It obviously, the results speak for themselves. It's a huge lead to have out of the T side of Train. So, phenomenal job by them. You can see why they've picked this map. Now they get to switch to the defense. And they might, if they just win this pistol round, they can just close this out quickly off the back of that. We'll see what Dig can bring to the table.
Dabs over here outside of the B-bomb site. He's alone all the way over at B, so this, I mean, if he goes down, there's not going to be any defense. He does fall back very, very quickly, and they don't want to chase him. I think they weren't quite close enough to try and do that. Still, at least it's some damage. GetRight will take down Kusta.
He's paying him back for the first half. Kusta picked off GetRight in the pistol on the opening kill with the P250 as well. So they've gone 1 for 1 here. That's going to make, I mean, Gen.G still have to keep 2 players inside because Daps at such low health, but look how far back they're playing. They're hoping they can just get 1 or 2 frags on the way in, but Dig still haven't picked a finishing point for this round.
No, they're still waiting around. They have 1 smoke, so, I mean, in the right position, that could obviously block off some of the USPs. GetRight hoping for another kill. 50 seconds now. And surely they're going to end up at the B-bomb side at this rate.
No, they're going to.
Right. Oh,
it's going to be Bentet. It's going to be Bentet. GetRight has so much ground outside. He's going to call them all back. Bentet. Oh, he needs to be careful. Now needs to back away. And what does Dig do here?
Well, GetRight's going to be sneaking in for the kill. He could do both. Clear out the bomb site, go back and open up the path for all the rest of the team, including the bomb, to show up here. And that would have been nice to snipe away the bomb at 20 seconds, but it's not going to happen. The bomb will be going down, and that's such a clean round out of Dig. You can see how that was all lined up.
Yeah, GetRight plays that perfectly every step of the way. Great game sense from him. I think it had to have been his brain telling him, as soon as he sees Automatic just turning tail and running for a connector, he's like, oh, I've got a lot of space. Like, they don't even want to be in this A bomb site at the moment. That's the exact kind of style that Gen.G brought out to them in their T side as well, is just, you know, spread this defense thin, you get that opening pick, you start getting the rotations away, and then one individual player gains so much ground, so much knowledge, so much information, such a nice push from Get Right, and Gen.G just never knew what hit him.
Strong start for him. He had, what, 7 kills in the first half? He just got 3 more and now up to 10. That's a good way to start that T side. If they wanted to run it back then, that's the kind of style you're going to want to see out of Get Right. That's down here, they're jumping right on top of him. He actually catches Guardian mid-air, and Som will take down Freiburg. So a bit interesting. Some grenades landing and doing some damage. They still should be around for Dig, just looking at the weaponry that's left here, but they want to make sure they don't overexpose themselves, even against the scouts here. It's just not worth it. Ooh.
Bentat won in that fight, but the shoulder peeking just caused the pre-fire to come in. And I think that's going to be the signal to not really go for this. Automatic looking for maybe 1 kill, but no one's committing. They'll bring the SMG and the 2 scouts into the next round. So 10-7 as Dig closes the gap. And that is nice and simple. Just walk and march towards the inner bomb site and take it away from everyone.
Yeah, just a good round here, not losing too much really in the exchange. And some discipline towards the end, not going for, you know, any crazy pushes or anything like that. Which again should be pretty much par for the course when you think about the combined experience that's on this team. But still, we see it sometimes fade away, even when you think like that should be the fundamental stuff, right? 3-on-3, bomb down. Don't push until you're really sure you won the round. Don't go and fight the scouts, even if they're just scouts.
Don't do anything stupid.
That is the rule. Hard to remember for some reason.
Hard to follow.
18th round, and yeah, just not in a position yet to really be competitive, Gen.G, in terms of the weapons that they're bringing into this round. It's probably going to be another chance here for Dig to start to build a little bit of confidence. And oh, Daps, this is an interesting flank.
Oh, this could be a big kill if he's able to get it. Oh, Dink on Forest couldn't complete it. Kusta's here, so is his scout. They have a chance. Kusta misses opportunity, and so does Bente with his scout. So, all right, that's another round. 8 rounds for Dig is going to be the scoreline at the end. Actually, Gen.G rotates everyone in just perfectly to actually fight for that bomb site, but can't get anything actually done. Look at the HP on Get Right, Guardian, and Forest.
Yeah, that's a bit silly, isn't it? Som with the unfortunate timing. And that means it is all on automatic. So try and do a bit more damage, which that's at least one of the things you want to do, even when you're playing here on the CT side, right? The T side could obviously run out of money as well, so just do what you can. Automatic, hoping to catch another kill right at the end. Not going to be possible.
He's hoping to get a rifle out of this. He's going to go investigate the player he killed on top of the high train, trying to find that weapon, going for one more kill, and he couldn't get it in time. So Scout is stuck in Automatic's hands. We'll see if he wants to upgrade that. Indeed, he has it all passed over to him. And nobody wants the Scout. Nobody's a scouter on this team. You're a good scouter.
At least for that one round yesterday.
We played some matchmaking last night. You had a couple good scout rounds in there.
Yeah, I think it's the...
It's the M4, the AK, the Krieg, and the AWP that's really your problem.
Yeah, unfortunately. That was my best round. It's very sad. Maybe I'll just buy that all day today.
Great. All right, Som close up towards T-mid. He's got Bentet there in support. They're working around E-Box. 4 players outside. Automatic with the AWP as well, and Connector now going to rotate with the timing towards inside.
Because Gen.G are so far forward, those smokes out in the AR, they already know there's no one behind them. They've already checked it out. Som and Bentet have been there looking, so they should know that this isn't really where the real threat is at the moment, though. Daps is in a lot of trouble down here. The M4, it's a nice tracking going on, but he's still getting shot at the back, and again, that's where he wanted the backup. And again, I'm slightly surprised that someone hadn't already at least moved a bit closer. They're in trouble here. Might not be worth throwing away these rifles.
Automatic rotated in, but then he rotated out immediately afterwards, which, yeah, that's confusing to me as well. I can't imagine a world in which you want Daps as your B anchor. He's just not that kind of player. Kusta looking for something, anything, but you're right. They don't want to risk what they have left in their hands.
Yeah, get right. He is lurking, waiting to try and steal some rifles away here. Yeah, I agree. I don't think Daps is the guy to be holding B that hard alone. I mean, he's been doing a pretty decent job down there, but...
In fairness, that was a pretty quick timing hit for Dig. They didn't waste a whole lot of time. They didn't really waste time showing presence outside. Just the utility, no actual human beings attacking this site. That's why it's so shocking that Automatic got pulled back to the A bomb site. He came back and Guardian already had the angle into connector. An easy kill for Guardian. 10-9, Dig just 1 round back. They've won 4 in a row on this T side, 5 in a row if you go back to the first half.
Yeah, it's starting to look way more respectable. Look at the scoreline for them as well. I mean, the same is true more or less for Gen.G. Everyone is kind of, you know, tied up there. Automatic at 15 kills. He's the only one that's made a real escape here in terms of the kills. So they I mean, I don't know. This could be, again, could be an interesting second half all of a sudden. I was almost getting ready to call it. I was like, this is done.
Yeah, it didn't look great in that first half. Looking much better, at least to start things out. I mean, it looks like Gen.G's having pretty similar issues with their own CT side, although it's still early going. They've only really had the one contact play towards the inner bomb site to contend with.
Yeah, but I mean, see how much it can plague you when you run out of that economy, which they definitely did dig themselves when they were on the CT side.
Yeah, actually, Gen.G, though, is doing a good job of keeping money in their hands. They have another very impressive buy, Automatic with the AWP. They have all the utility. Bentet still has 2K left over. Dap still has 1,000 left over, so we'll see what they can do here. Flashbang utility used towards team mid to prevent anyone from getting out. No Molotovs into the choke points quite yet, though, for this Gen.G defense. And this time, Dig is going to spread it out. They'll play more of a default. Instead of massing towards box halls, they're going to spread and get presence everywhere to make sure there's no pushes.
Which it looks like there might be. Gen.G at least taking up control of T main. It's being watched by Guardian. And did they just fake a grenade in there just to pretend that no one was going to be there?
This will be interesting. I'm wondering when Bentet is going to drop that smoke in towards T mid to buy Som a little bit more time, although it's Automatic who's close up. Bentet has rotated over towards Ivy. He's used his smoke there instead to maintain the aggression towards T mid, and Dig is just slow playing everything. And that's a good call, because these smokes are going to fade, and there's going to be a lot of time left for Gen.G to wonder how they can manage aggressive stacks like this.
I mean, so much of this surely is going to come down to whether or not Som can win this early fight. The timing on that smoke is so brutal. Just after they've thrown out their own on the T side, and Som is just shooting in the back. That is a slaughter, and Bentet on the other side doing just as well. Freiburg and Forrest both going down. That is so brutal.
Yeah, that's a great play from Som. He even catches that flashbang and holds his nerve. They didn't come through the smoke. They might have got caught, I think exists on that pallet, but they didn't take advantage of that flashbang whatsoever that was thrown. Som was completely blinded for like a second or two, and they had the chance. And it's important to note, while the timing of that smoke was perfect, there was also time to wait it out. There was still like 40 seconds left in the round. It would have been close.
Yeah, I think the problem is, though, if they'd waited it out, surely their own smokes on the other side are also gone, right?
Yeah.
So they're probably just thinking like, yeah, but then what? I mean, running through the smoke, obviously, you could tell was lethal.
I'm even fine with that. It's just the disconnect between when the flashbang pops and actually coming through the smoke was a bit awkward for Dig.
It did look like it.
Still, nothing gets done that round. What, did one player go down for Gen.G? Did anyone go down? Nobody. All 5 players survived, so they're rich. They're rich-ish.
If you want to
upper middle class.
If you want to flash in Dig, timing is everything, Jason.
You really didn't commit to that one. You really didn't even know if you wanted to go there. I'm disappointed.
Can I tell you a secret? This whole cast so far for me has been trying to avoid stop my brain from making a lot of
Dig jokes.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we'll pretend we didn't hear it. Save it for map 2. I just want a little bit more oomph behind that joke.
Okay. Well, remember you asked for this. I'm just gonna say it now. Bentet smoking off main and flashed in to try and see if he can take the fight against Get Right. So good coordination. And again, these are the kind of things that we were talking about in the first half. These are simple things to do. Call for a flashbang, have somebody set you up, and then go for it. And I'm not calling it simple to try and, you know, and undermine it or discount what they're doing. I think it's a compliment at this point in time. You want teams to be doing these things. Daps all the way back here with the Krieg. Should be a powerful weapon to try and do it with. Guardian, at least with a bit of a return, but Kusta's in a perfect position to get at least the 1 kill, might even be more than that. He's just waiting for it. Probably a bit frustrated at this point in time. Like, where are they? It should be showing up already.
He's got to be calling it that they're actually... part of it is probably waiting for the flank, but he had to have heard the footsteps of them pushing down sidewalk. Freiburg,
What?
3 quick kills. Somehow, I don't know how he's done this. Kusta, he's got the AWP, drops down. Great shot. 12-9, a saving kill. It should have never gotten there, though.
That is so ridiculous. He killed both those players in C connector and even spun around for the next one. What a round out of Freiburg. That could have definitely been his. 12-9 though. And even in spite of everything, they don't quite have the money with the bomb plant. I think they would have probably gone for it here because Forrest could have dropped for somebody, but it's pretty questionable here if they can.
Yeah, there's, 2 players right on the edge. 1 player definitely can't buy. Forrest, I guess, could drop, but yeah, even that would make it sketchy for him. So I agree with you. I think Forrest drops some pistols over to guys like Get Right. Everyone else gets like a little bit of a half buy going in. You have a losing bonus building up. You're at a 2-round losing bonus, so you're going to be getting, 2,400 in the next round. Yeah, I'm with you. Half buy. Go for something fast, something aggressive. Get the blood pumping if you're Dig.
That's it, Jason. That is, in fact, key.
Yeah.
Some might say, ooh, that was just timing, wasn't it? But the turnaround is there.
Yeah, that third kill was sick.
All right.
So they've gone for a middle ground. Forrest has an AWP. That's it. I don't know how I feel about this buy. I guess we'll judge it off results. Double nade in towards T mid. They backed away just in time.
I mean, he obviously wanted to start up with a kill. That's how you want to start the round. Because now, now it's all been slowed down, and you're gonna be waiting around behind a lot of those smokes and HEs.
And you have no utility, so what's the point of this AWP? Like all the rest of the pistols are essentially just gonna be running into the slaughter. Unless Kusta goes down here, I don't know how you get this AWP involved in any kind of impactful way. You're gonna try and get into the site and use the AWP for the post plant, pick people off from afar, but they have to get there first. And God, there could be a flashbang for Kusta right through the upper windows if he wanted to peek.
I mean, they're just trying different tricks, right? There's the fast run in the middle. Now there's the triple boost over at the B-bomb site.
Yeah, but are you willing? I mean, Forrest had 6,500.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money to invest in to just do tricks.
Yeah, I tend to agree. This wall that Get Right is standing up against, right where the glass is, you can shoot through this entire wall into the B-bomb site with an AWP. You can shoot the C connector from there. Now, no one ever has. It's absolutely pick up 2 kills, and that AWP...
It's got 1.
It's got 1. It's put into play very, very late. And practically crouching on top of that HE grenade will not work out so well for Forrest.
Okay, so I guess the way that they're going to neutralize it, right, is just have him save the AWP for the next round. So they'll have an AWP in the next. But even that's risky in and of itself to rely on the fact that he can save this. 8 seconds left. They could chase if they wanted. They're close enough. And they're going to start pushing forward. Kusta peeking towards upper ramp. You can see Psalm. They're rushing this. I think Forrest should be able to get away. I don't think there's enough time for them to turn this corner, but... All right, so it's not exactly a disaster, and he passes the AWP over to Guardian.
No, at least they didn't sort of completely crumble. But there is another problem that's building.
Okay.
It's the fact that Gen.G are 13 rounds, and and they're about to win the map. At least looking that way. They did also pick it. Might be worth pointing out.
Yes, and Dig picked Nuke. That'll be the next match coming up. And if we can go to 3, it's Vertigo is the deciding that.
Listen, Jason, I don't know.
First joke was much better.
I'm trying my best.
You gotta commit to the Dig, Anders.
Is that the key? You should know. Some bent head and automatic out in the A yard with Kuster and Damps sticking around inside of B. So just a reasonable defense, I would say. Only downside, obviously, is if you lose one of these positions out of the A yard. Bentet being pretty active in holding not just Pop Dog, but sort of sticking around to look for main. And
Here
actually
comes
now
the aggression. You're gonna pop
grouping
flash
up for
Bentet
it,
in. Yeah, there's the Molotov. Forrest has got to know what's coming. Surely blinded though, didn't turn from the flashbang, and that's an easy kill for Bentet again. We saw this just previously. Pop flash in towards ladder room and gave Bentet a kill and control. Now he's done it towards T mid.
I feel like that was made funny by the fact that he was so slow to peek the corner. Just
I'm just surprised Forrest wasn't looking away. Like, that deep Molotov should be the indication of what's coming, right? And I guess it's a gamble. Like, some players will just turn in without that flop flash, but still, Bentet still holding team mid. It's Get Right to challenge, one on top of the train to distract, and Bentet's got another. Som does go down, and there's Automatic with the op. He falls, and Kusa's waiting for his time to peek out. It's just now. It's a free kill on Guardian, and Freiburg, the only one remaining. They know exactly where he is.
expensive round. I mean, it looks like they could have won that round way more Gen.G, but I don't think they really can. Nice triple kill for Bentet. He's all the way up to 18. He's kind of overtaken everyone on the server at the moment, which is impressive all on its own. But I think the real problem is the lack of a bomb plant. Maybe even with the bomb plant, they just don't have the money here to dig. So they're going to be in some trouble. 14-9 could be a faster finish than I think they were really hoping for at this point in time. Bentet, Som, and Automatic once again out in the A yard with Daps and Kusta. And Daps actually running very close, and they're all going to be coming for him. Kusta wants to follow it up, and he'll get the one kill here. Maybe delaying things a bit with a Molotov. 3 versus 4 at the moment. And just Forrest with the one rifle there.
Oh, I guess they're waiting for the smoke to fade. They're just going to camp behind it, but that is risky. Spam, a lot of bullets coming through. Deep Molotov. Now they decide to go. Kusta has another, and they're blocked into the site. Forrest going to get aggressive to clear that out, but look at the counter flank from Som wrapping around the train. It's going to be an easy one. Him and Automatic get the last 2. 15-9. Dig needed 6 rounds straight, and instead they have lost 5 rounds in a row.
Yeah, it's trending in the wrong direction, unfortunately. 25th round here. They're going to have one last chance at it, and they're going to need to win the next 6 rounds in a row. That's kind of rough. Right now, I'm not even sure how they would. And I feel like the one that has the hot hand right now, at least just judging from the last couple of rounds, might actually be Freiburg.
Yeah,
16 kills. Maybe try and have him look for an opening. I mean, you can't ask him to do 6 rounds in a row, but
I think the problem is this T side from Dig feels like it's not even giving anyone a chance to have the hot hand. Like, it's been slow. It's been, you know, waiting out utility for a long time. You're not even giving anyone a chance to kind of feel the game. There hasn't been a whole lot of variation in the strategies they're calling. This feels very much like get some control, wait for Gen.G to make a mistake, wait for someone to walk into your crosshair instead of actually going for it. Freiburg's going to lead, and you've got Kusta on the other side with an M4 in hand. And he'll have a lot of pressure. 3 players about to bust out. Turn from the flashbang. The follow-up comes in. He turns right back into it. Mistimed.
and with 2 people ready to fight him, that was going to be a really rough day for him, no matter what. Bentet also now worried about getting shot at the back of the remote. Backup has shown up really quickly. They're actually all 4 here for Gen.G. They've completely committed to this A defense. And still with 50 seconds, they're getting the kills in on the Dig side, and that's really all they need right here. Bentet, no space to stand on behind that E-box, and he'll go down. So in spite of the fact that there was some pretty heavy defense here, Gen.G have not really made it work. Automatic, he's not going to get the swing on that one. Forrest is already so far out into the angle, and that leaves Daps to get shot in the face by Assist. That's
banged
great.
Out.
Absolutely.
That was well done from Dig. Once they pulled that trigger, pretty nice. They did slow things down, and that's how Gen.G got all 4 remaining players out there at that bomb site to defend, but very good job from Dig to actually attack that bomb site, working together to clear out Bentet over towards E-box. That was an important kill to find. Gen.G gonna swap things up. Double op setup. Kusta's got one in hand. We've been talking about wanting to see that. We as in the talent collectively, not necessarily you and me.
No? Trying to distance yourself already, Jason?
No, I want to see Goose on the op as well.
He had that great shot over at the B-bomb side jumping off the ladder. That inspired some confidence.
Yeah, he had a great miner with the op back in 2016 as well.
We all remember that one. Was that around the point in time when you increased his stock so much that, you know, everyone just sold it right afterwards and crashed his career? Was that the point in time?
I didn't crash the career, I built the career, and then Simple crashed the career. We'll blame it on that. Okay.
Fair enough. I mean, what can you do? It's simple.
Good shot from Automatic. Daps still waiting underneath the ladder. Freiburg's going to go down. Daps goes for another, but Guardian's got the angle. Automatic, how aggressive does he want to remain? The Molotov keeps them forced into the open. That's well played from Automatic. He's going to go for a follow-up peek, but Guardian has the angle. Guardian's a little bit quicker.
And with Get Right getting a kill simultaneously and the follow-up taking down Som, it's turned. That was a 2-on-4 into a 1 versus 2 for Gen.G, and Bentet here. He's got the right timing, but just as Get Right got around the corner, 39 seconds. They nearly lined up. That could have been an absolute disaster, but they'll get one more round, 11-15. And Gen.G is stumbling when they shouldn't.
I think Gen.G just forgot that Dig was able to actually push up along those lanes instead of planting the bomb. They were just like, no, they still have W keys. That's interesting.
Stumbling over Dig, and that's impressive, isn't it? If that's the kind of thing that happens, then
yeah, fair play to the man with the big dig.
don't even need to brag about anything else at that point in time. 27th round, and they're out of money. It's getting interesting.
Yeah, just 3 rounds back if they're able to convert this against all USPs, which they should. Here's the Creeks peeking out. There's a lot of USPs out here. Death by 1,000 cuts. Good dink onto Freiburg. A bit of damage onto Exist, but none of the kills are coming out until just now. Automatic and Bentet with 2. Dapsix is going to come into play, and another dink. Som actually has a chance. Unfortunately, they know exactly where he is, and I think with that nade, his HP at 6, it's all gone away.
Yeah, but you're right. He actually, I mean, 2 headshots would have probably done it there. 15-12. 3 more rounds. I think try and get into overtime.
They're buying again. That kind of surprises me. All M4s, no AWPs for this Gen.G side. Gonna be light on some utility, especially kits.
"21 kills on Bentet, 20 on automatic." That seems like a pretty lethal duo to me. If both those players can play well in any game, yeah, I'd say that's going to be sort of hard to deal with. But it's obviously the economy that is really worth thinking about. Forrest also having a game himself with 19 kills right there. They need to get the next 3 in a row here, and they will be helped by this buy. You're absolutely right though. Spending the economy in this round, not getting the AWP, being way low in terms of grenades, having no kit pickup either. A lot of things that could go wrong here for Gen.G.
Molotov towards the back of the train. Not going to move anyone out of position. A lot of counter utility coming out for Gen.G.
But they have 1 flashbang left, Dick. What's going on? What are they doing?
I don't know. They've used everything. Look at all the smokes on the board. There's 6 of them at the moment. They have to go here. Kusta and Daps can double up, though. They could slaughter this whole thing. And instead, Daps backing away, loses the first fight. That's a big win for Kusta, but traded immediately. And Guardian misses a shot. And Gen.G in a 3-on-3. Remember, I said no kits. They're not going to go for this.
I'm so confused.
Surely they're not going to go for this. That's cutting pretty deep into the timer as well to start this retake. They're not even in position to start moving forward.
Definitely not worth it. They're hanging around. I mean, maybe if you can, try and get another rifle or something, but wouldn't commit to it. And they're going to start to fall back. Just a bunch of things that I just don't really understand in this round.
This game feels like neither team is really actually taking risks. Like they've just both agreed to play the most standard game of Counter-Strike on both sides of their map.
I want to get Daps and Kusta both in a chair and ask them who screwed up that defense, because either they both hold the angle and Kusta is the one to take all the attention, and when they try and cross to fight Kusta, Daps is there to shoot them, or they say, okay, don't worry, I'll fall back, I'll throw the grenade, and then, we'll go and fight him. But it seemed like Daps was sticking around, and then Kusta was throwing the grenade, and they were like, none of them were prepared for it.
Yeah, that kind of a setup needs both players to be gun out. That flashbang, what 2-3 seconds it takes to actually throw that and get your gun out and be prepared to fight is everything that Dig needed to take out Daps. That's a nice crossfire at a very tough choke point to deal with for the T side, especially considering they used all their utility. Pop flash in, automatic can't win the fight. Transfers over to Freiburg, but the damage isn't quite there. And M4, they cannot recover.
And Freiburg just playing anti-flash already. He was just looking into the wall, ready in case they were going to do exactly that. So that's a good read. Kusta now playing very close with the USP. Hoping for a quick one tap, but went the other way.
Le one tap.
Le one tap.
Freiburg is just beasting it at the moment. Som's got to hold off everything. Scoped in, can't get Exist.
See, that is a good reference for all the wrong reasons.
Well, we're at 14-15. 5 rounds in a row for Dig. What if they stub their toe right here? What if they just fall flat? 16-14. How brutal would that be?
that is the classic though, isn't it? That's exactly how it normally plays out. Suddenly, nobody wants to make a mistake. You end up going maybe a bit slower than you should have, and yeah, it's a classic. Double AWP as well on the Gen.G side, so could be some stopping power behind that.
Yeah, but Dig managed to get that out of their hands earlier. We saw Gen.G pick it up at an earlier stage, right at the start of this comeback, and they managed to overcome it then. So you have to assume they're going to go back to it. We'll be interested what Dig comes out with, because remember, this has been relatively slow paced from the offense. Those ops are going to have their chance to find picks. They're going to have their opportunities. So tough round for Dig. 5 in a row. 14-15. This would be a phenomenal comeback for Dig, considering how things looked.
Yeah, 5 in a row after losing 5 in a row. Just one more to go. I don't know. It is a good comeback. I just don't. I'm still not. It's not the kind of comeback that's going to convince me to say, oh yeah, this is exactly what I want to see. It just feels like, I mean, some of these rounds are way too close and are kind of relying on Gen.G making a couple of mistakes, which at least they're getting. But that doesn't make me excited or happy. That just makes me think, well, what if this is the round where there is no such mistake?
We've seen a lot of different setups as well from Gen.G. Previously, we saw Bentet playing in ladder room a lot. Now it's Psalm. We've seen Kusa supporting towards inside. Now it's automatic. Kusa playing with the op outside. They've really been mixing things up depending on the weaponry that they have. Daps playing under the ladder. Automatic at high train.
I like this.
On top of the ladder, excuse me.
Yeah, I think this is great. Automatic, if he gets a kill here, Daps could swing right in and be close range, and if they come down the ramp, might still be able to get a kill. It's going to be a little bit more tricky if they actually show up full force there, but the bomb is really far back, and there's about 55 seconds left, and they're so expecting for Gen.G to go for something, and they're getting nothing out of it. Look at the forward diva. I mean, Ivy would be an amazing place to hit right now. I think that's where the most success would come from.
Oh, that's a big kill for Psalm. Guardian doesn't commit inside either. Now, Guardian has an AWP, so if he wants to... No, he doesn't, excuse me. He's swapped out. He's got the Creek.
30
but
seconds.
This is still so delayed. All the smokes are on the board for Dig. They have to take advantage of this, and Daps is going to have a very fast flank. That doesn't need to happen. Bentet gives one up for free, but Psalm still in ladder room allows Kusa to remain aggressive. Freiburg's coming from Ivy, though. They've lost track of it. Now the bomb just somehow needs to make it, and they need to remain aggressive. It's just exist.
Man, they could have had this round, Dig, but now instead it's a 1 versus 3 with 10 seconds left, and there is really nothing that he could do here. Surely Daps or someone else is going to go for the swing while he's trying to put that bomb down. I'm shocked that he even got that. 4 seconds left on the timer, and Exist in a 1 versus 3. He's going to get the one quick kill. Daps on the other side, showing himself, and he'll fight it, and it's going to be 16-14. Gen.G barely closing it out, and I mean, again, it was I don't know, a lot of disturbing things I'm seeing for both teams in this match. I kind of walk away just feeling uncomfortable at the end of it.
I swear that was the same exact thing you said last time we saw both Gen.G and Dig play independently of playing each other.
It's true.
I kind of agree with you, though. There was nothing, I think the best way to describe it is there was nothing convincing there. It's obviously a good win for Gen.G. It's a pretty nice comeback for Dig as well, but nothing that makes you feel like these teams have got their swagger back, got their game back in the right place. We're heading to a break, then we hear from the desk, and then we've got Nuke coming up, which is Dig's pick. Stay tuned to Flashpoint.